This is one that there's familiarity with both teams. Third time that we're playing in, just a little over a year.
I've prayed for this opportunity. I've hoped for it. I've worked for it, and I'm glad it's here.
So our mentality is we're not gonna lose. We're gonna figure out a way to win.
We're not done here. We're not just showing up for first round game. We got a special team. We're gonna go really far.
It's a team very, very determined, a team that's hard to kill.
Hard to kill, hard to kill, hard to kill, hard to kill.
You're watching a special edition of The End Zone, College Football Playoff Edition, sponsored by Brahms.
Well, the buzz around campus has been off the charts for over a week as we get ready for the first ever college football playoff game in Norman, Oklahoma. A battle of blue bloods, the Oklahoma Sooners and the Alabama Crimson Tide meeting for the third time in the last 13 months. Live from Campus Corner in Norman, Oklahoma, this is a special edition of The End Zone along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. Oklahoma has played in a lot of big matchups over their historic, storied program history, but none get much bigger than a college football playoff game on your home field. And for both of these teams, the college football playoff is the expectation, but what you do on this stage ultimately defines what your program is remembered for. So tonight, Cameron, the countdown finally is near, and we're going to watch this football game, this matchup, Oklahoma, Alabama, Blue Bloods. The winner goes to the Rose Bowl. The loser has a long 8 months ahead.
Yeah, what a special occasion here in Norman for fans, for students, people who live here. I mean, as you pointed out, a playoff game in itself is a huge deal. But to finally bring it here in front of your fan base, no, you haven't had a lot of good luck in the playoffs before, and I think maybe fifth time's the charm in front of your own fans. This is a huge matchup, a great matchup, historic, as you mentioned. What a special night.
They haven't had a lot of luck in the old format, right?
Sure.
0-4 in the 14 playoff. It's now a 12-team playoff. You get a home field game before you start playing in those neutral field sites. But I think the crowd is going to be amazing. I think being in Norman all day today, I've been to so many games in Norman, Oklahoma. I've experienced so many game days around the stadium. I don't know what inside the stadium is going to be like yet, but obviously I think just feeling the energy all day today, this feels like something different, I think, than we've ever experienced here.
I would agree with that. And, some people, they cancel classes for crying out loud. I mean, everyone is feeding into this, everyone in the community, and even Brent Venables was saying it, they're going to need that. I mean, this is a special environment. OU hasn't played an SEC opponent under the lights since moving to the SEC yet, and to bring it home in front of home fans, that's going to be a huge advantage for the Sooners. If the fans can be disruptive, then this game could get very interesting very quickly.
It's very cold. It's a little bit windy. That might be a factor. 5 years ago when you thought Oklahoma football, physicality was not something that you thought of, whereas with Alabama, that was absolutely the case, right? Now it's kind of flip-flopped. Alabama's not necessarily known as much for the physicality as they were in the Nick Saban era, while Oklahoma, I think, thrives on physicality under Brent Venables. I feel like that's going to be a major factor in tonight's game. It kind of feels like it's probably going to be one of those low-scoring slugfests where one big play maybe swings the game one way or the other. But for Oklahoma, you're looking to beat, I think, the gold standard of the sport over the last 2 decades for a third time in 13 months, which sounds pretty unthinkable.
Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity for Brent Venables, too, because ever since he took over, yes, everyone knows that he is a defensive mastermind. This is his chance to prove he can also coach the team as a whole. He's proven it up to this point, I think. But to be able to finally take that next step against one of the most historic programs on your home turf, this is a statement game for Brent Venables, for the Sooners as a whole, but it's going to be a really fun opportunity.
They had 2 big wins on the road against Tennessee and Alabama following the Ole Miss game. They came back home and didn't play particularly well, but won. against Missouri and LSU. So the last 2 times we've seen them play at home, it's not been the prettiest product, but they got it done. They're going to have to definitely step up the level of play in all 3 phases tonight if they're going to beat this Alabama team. But it's going to be a fun matchup. We're going to break it down over the next hour as we inch closer to kickoff. We've got a ton of guests coming up along with Cameron Johnson. I'm Colby Daniels. We'll take our first time out. We're inching closer to a college football playoff matchup featuring the Sooners and the Crimson Tide from Norman, Oklahoma.
Swapping.
Take turns at like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, you ready?
Can you give me a mic check on that? Hello. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Big stuff coming. Blah blah blah. You need me to keep going? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hello.
You're good. Yeah.
Backdrop back there, y'all got a
picture
little
of Kobe.
nice. You're looking good. I just froze the video.
Oh, okay.
I was pulling it up on YouTube TV.
You need me to keep going?
What was the biggest home game that you guys had when you were here?
Ohio State, we lost.
Okay, yeah.
And then there was
The monsoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was a 2015, that stretch.
Oh, Mike.
Hello. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Is that how you did it?
Testing.
Okay.
Test.
Test.
I think you want me to take your mic and you'll take that mic.
Oh.
Testing. Testing.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Testing.
Cameron
Marlena.
Johnson.
Testing. Marlena.
And then that 2015 stretch when we had to win like every game to go to the
Testing. Test. Testing.
Yeah.
Testing.
Yeah.
Testing.
home game for TCU when Steve Parker had.
I'm about to say, yeah, I got a whole setup here.
Yeah.
Tennessee was kind of big, but at Tennessee 2015 was way bigger though. And then at Notre Dame was my first year.
inching closer to kickoff in Norman, Oklahoma, as the Sooners host their first ever college football playoff game. Alabama Crimson Tide in town, along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. This is a special edition of the End Zone. We are joined by former Sooner linebacker Jordan Evans. You've played inside this stadium a few times, haven't you?
Yes, sir. A lot sometimes.
Living in Florida, but back home for this big matchup and for the holidays, obviously. You enjoying the cold weather?
It's a switch up, but at least I have good old Letterman and some good clothes. I got some long johns underneath here as well, so I'm gonna stay warm for the game.
It hasn't made you soft, has it?
Maybe a little bit. I was living in Ohio for some time, so Ohio gets a lot more colder than Oklahoma, so I got a little adjusted, but Florida's definitely set in on me for a little bit.
Well, this is an Oklahoma team that is built on defense and physicality. I was saying in the opening segment, it's crazy 5 years ago if you had said Oklahoma versus Alabama, physicality is definitely on the side of the Crimson Tide. Since Brent Venables has taken over, that is flip-flop completely, and that's what they're built on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a testament to the defense taking the culture, what BV said he was going to do. He said he's going to fix up the defense. And essentially, that's what we rely on. As a former defensive player, I absolutely love it. Some people don't like those low-scoring games, but when I see that Oklahoma's defense only gives up, 13 points a game?
That's right.
I absolutely love it. So I'm looking forward to seeing the showcase they put on tonight.
And we were mentioning just a few moments ago how Brent Venables is known to be this defensive mind, but that this is a great opportunity for him to prove himself as a coach as a whole. Just what have you enjoyed about watching him and the journey he's taken as a whole in this season in particular?
Yeah, no, I always enjoy before and afters. You know, I mean, there's like a satisfaction even on Instagram Reels when you can watch before and afters. That's essentially what BV's had to do. I mean, he came into a program that was almost getting depleted just because of the coaching leaving and then the transfer portals and things like that. And you see him slowly get better and better each year to the point now where he's a playoff team. Defense is the #1 defense. And, so I'm looking forward to seeing what's to come and excited about tonight.
Obviously, this is a team defensively that is excellent on all three levels. They got after Ty Simpson in the last game and made him uncomfortable throughout the game. That was without arguably the best player on the entire team, R. Mason Thomas, who's going to be back tonight and should be a big factor in this game.
Yeah, for sure. I'm happy to see he's back. I'm pretty sure it was actually Ole Miss head coach that just went to LSU. I went blank.
Yeah, Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin said he's the best player in the SEC. And I think there's no argument to that. So I know he's going to have a huge impact, whether it's sacks or just pressures in general that take or mess up the timing of the quarterback. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. It's going to be needed. And, it should be a good night.
Well, going back to that Alabama game, obviously a big night for the defense in terms of turnovers. They did give up over 300 yards to Ty Simpson. The Tide are looking for that now. Kalen DeBoer said they know how to handle the turnovers. If they can eliminate that, what's the key to the defense starting fast and taking control of this game?
Well, it's the same thing. Obviously, winning turnover margin in any game at the college level, the NFL level is huge. So that's number one. Number two is actually complementary football. So the defense does all they can, bending, not breaking, maybe not giving up touchdowns, even if there's 300 yards, force them to field goals. But then special teams and offense has to contribute. And so that's where, the offense helps the defense, where the offense will have extended drives, put points up on the board, not constantly putting the defense in some of the pressures that they were in the first game, where they had to make those stops multiple times. And so, I think we'll have a full all three phases, special teams, defense, and offense, complementary football that will be the success for tonight.
And the defense, as its main starters, are obviously very impressive. What have you thought about the depth? Because that has also been a big strength of this team.
That's very unique. I mean, even when I was playing here, our depth was good because we would compete against each other in practice. But the depth's so good now, they actually all play. And, I think one of the linebackers got some SEC honors, and he's not even a starter.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool to see. And honestly, when in teams prior of all across college football that had backups that were getting honors, that's just a successful team. And so it's fun to see. Everybody gets production, everybody gets to play, everybody gets film for this level and the next level. And that's actually a stronghold for the defense for OU.
It's pretty wild when you think about the history of Oklahoma football. It's been a very rare occurrence that Oklahoma faces anybody, and naturally that other brand potentially is on equal footing or outshining the Sooner brand. Alabama, I think really just because of what they've done in the last 2 decades, has become the gold standard of college football under the Nick Saban era. So you're playing them for a third time in 13 months. Right. Oklahoma's won both of those matchups. They're going to have to do it for a third time, yet Alabama's still kind of the team that everybody leans on and looks to in this matchup. You were on the team in 2013 with Trevor Knight that beat them in the Sugar Bowl. What do you remember most about, the hype around Oklahoma, Alabama?
Yeah, it's two historical programs. Under Saban, Bryant, they've always been a historically great program. You cannot deny that. And the same with OU. The difference is when I was here, we were Big 12, they're SEC, and SEC obviously gets heightened as the best conference, and then we aren't. And so I remember walking down in New Orleans, down Bourbon Streets and all that, and hearing these Bama fans talking about this is SEC or SEC ball you're about to see. Well, I'm 4-0 as SEC schools during my playing days.
There you go.
So we ended up winning that game. It was a great Sugar Bowl win, and that carried through. And so, football's football. Regardless of what it is, when the ball's lined up, the best team always wins.
Obviously, this is a little bit different with it being a playoff game, but you've played in some big games, night games especially, against blue blood programs. What goes through your mind and the team as a whole? What's the environment like in the locker room before you take the field?
Yeah, it's amped up. It's high emotions. It's a night game for one. That brings a different type of element to the game. You're prime time, so everybody's watching. And then you add a fact on who the opponent is and what the stakes are. And so you're playing Alabama in a first ever home game for the college playoffs. I could only imagine what that locker room was like. It's either going to be extra loud or hyped up, or it's going to be some solemn or some quietness because everyone's just still and ready to go to war.
Something that's been interesting to watch under Brent Venables, I think it was after either the Tennessee game or the Alabama game, he mentioned that he was okay with letting his players feel the emotion of the moment, whereas some are, immediately flush this, move on. What do you think about that idea there?
No, I 100% agree with it. Before and after the game, all the emotions you're feeling, you're supposed to express it because it's supposed to aid how you're going to play that game. And then afterwards, you always want to celebrate the wins, and the losses feel what you feel, so you don't want to feel it again. It's just about while you're in between the lines to control it. So, if you don't control, that's when you see those personal flags and guys doing kind of some dumb stuff. But before and after the game, 100% feel what you're feeling, use it to aid, and then go ball.
I was on the field in Tuscaloosa when they won about a month ago. They're roping off the 50-yard line, the logo. Some of the players are out there taking pictures. I'm taking pictures of them taking pictures, because it's such a wild scene, and the Alabama personnel are really upset about it. You can hear them talking about it even in the postgame.
Right.
Oklahoma locker room next to the press conference, they're blaring "Sweet Home Alabama." Yeah. It was one of those nights that you feel like, this was like a playoff-type win to go into their house, win against Alabama. Is there any sort of letdown tonight? Or on the other hand, if you're Alabama, does that generate any sort of extra oomph, if you will?
Oh, I'm sure it does. Everybody tries to find some type of motivator before the game, whether it's an individual matchup, team versus team, coach versus coach, and a lot of times there's rivalries within the conference. Mm-hmm. And OU Alabama is one of those rivalries that goes back. There's probably some bad blood. They circled off because they didn't want OU to go step on or do what we were going to do. And honestly, it's the same here. They probably want to get their lick back, and it's OU's job now to defend their home turf. And there's definitely going to be some extra motivators on both ends, and that's going to aid one of the teams to win.
There's like it wasn't Baker Mayfield and a flag wasn't getting planted at the 50-yard line. Jordan, before we let you run, we appreciate you joining us. You want to give any predictions?
That's just Boomer Sooner.
There it is. Boomer Sooner. Jordan Evans, former Sooner linebacker, joining us on this special edition of The End Zone. We'll take a timeout. Kennedy Brooks coming up next. So let's go. Let's get both of them. I'm out. Or would you rather do?
Check.
In the next one, let's bring Charles on first, and then we'll go to Adam. Okay. In the beginning of the night.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep. Oh. I'm cold, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm cold.
I thought it was fine, but as I sat here, I've like
Oh, yeah.
more and more.
Because it's one of those things when you don't move.
Yes. And the wind picked up.
I was gonna say I feel
And the
like
wind
I
picked
have
up.
enough layers on. Like maybe my
Right.
ankles are cold, but like I just can't warm up.
I've done so many of these things where I'm like, live from Campus Corner in Norman, Oklahoma. This is a special edition of the End Zone along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. We are joined by former Sooner running back Kennedy Brooks. I can hear the pregame hype music inside the stadium. I know what's happening right now in the field. I can vision the players warming up and everything that they do to get ready. I am hyped for this matchup, despite the cold weather that we are freezing here. Kennedy, how are you, my man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me again.
Absolutely. It's good to see you. We'll make this short and sweet so you can go warm up and watch the football game. But, the cold's going to be a factor tonight, isn't it?
100%. Especially with the wind picking up right now, dude, it's going to be. But this is December football. This is what we came here for, right? We want to be in the playoff. We want to be in the big show. So, hey, it is what it is.
You've been a part of some big matchups. This is arguably the biggest matchup in Norman. What goes through your mind ahead of a matchup like this?
Honestly, just be yourself. I mean, just do what you got here, like what you done to get here. You know, we had a lot of ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we're hard to kill, right? We're hard to kill, so we're going to just continue to be OU Sooners and get that first playoff win and just dominate.
So you're a former number 26. I was
Yes, sir.
Also 26 earlier. If I had told you 5 years ago that OU and Alabama were going to play and Oklahoma probably was going to be the more physical team, you would have thought I was crazy, right? I mean, it's wild to see how they flip-flop since Saban has left. And that's not to say they aren't physical, but the physicality is not nearly at the same level it was a couple years ago when Saban is there, and vice versa. I mean, since Brent has taken over, that's what Oklahoma is built on, the defense and physicality. It's wild to think about you playing for Oklahoma against Alabama in the playoff in 2018 and how different, I guess, the bones are, if you will, of these programs from then to now.
Yeah. So just like you said, like it's a difference since Nick Saban was there, and then also with Venables coming here, dude, it's just like the whole vibe of physicality is just changed. Like we are way bigger team than we were last time we played them, and we're way more physical team and just way more confident in what we're doing. You know, our defense is top 5 in the country right now. They're dominating, number 1 in the run game right now, and Alabama can't run the ball for nothing. so
crazy.
You say when they had Najee, when they had all those guys that were running the ball, but it's a whole different game. But they're gonna pull it out and win. So I'm excited to see.
Well, this to me is an interesting matchup because these two teams are probably, it feels like the most similar they've been when they've played each other. Both kind of struggling offensively right now, but OU getting the benefit of that 3-week break. They've got their running back room healthier, hopefully. That could change things here tonight.
100%, especially with DeMarco in the back coaching them. I know he was my coach, and he's gonna get those guys ready. We all know how big it is, and honestly, whoever's gonna run the ball the best is gonna win these games. It always comes down to it. So it's going to rely on them. So I'm excited to see what the running backs do.
They pulled upset a year ago. 24-3 was the final. Xavier Robinson had a monster game. Oklahoma dominated them in the rushing attack. Neither team ran the ball well a month ago in Tuscaloosa. I think OU finished with 74 rushing yards, Alabama 80. I mean, it was neither team established the run. Oklahoma had the better yards per carry in that matchup. But, regardless of whether Oklahoma is able to generate a ton of offense, you just have to have the faith that the defense is going to do their part to give you more than one opportunity to try and make that one big play potentially.
100%. And the plus thing is, we're home. We're home.
That's right.
So the fans are going to be a huge atmosphere. It's a night game, so it's going to create more love, more fight, and it just feels different. You can tell just the atmosphere of being in here, college game day here. We're starting off the playoff, so it's just a whole different atmosphere. So it's definitely going to change.
Now, the run game has had its shining moments throughout the season. Is there anything you've noticed that kind of clicks a little more in those games?
Honestly, what I've noticed when they just stop looking for the big plays and just honestly go tough it out. Go tough it out. Be a grinder. I mean, that's what OU was built on. I mean, just all the running backs being grinders. Adrian Peterson, DeMarco, Samaje, Mixon, me, a whole bunch of people just being grinders on the team. So that's what they're going to have to do today.
It's like Coach Herman doing in Remember Titan said. It's like Novocaine. Give it time, and it will absolutely work. All right, let's wrap up with this. You played Alabama in the playoff in 2018. Unfortunately, it didn't go your way that night. Oklahoma's won 2 of these matchups. This is the 3rd one in 13 months. What do they have to do, and is there any sort of feeling about having these 2 blue blood brands on the field at the same time?
Defense championship. So we all know Venables going to come in, throw those dogs at them, and also the running game. It's going to be a huge part of winning. We got to go out there and just dominate the run line of scrimmage, the run game, and then just go out there and be us. That's it.
There you go. That is former Sooner running back Kennedy Brooks, who is braver than me because he doesn't have a coat on, doesn't have gloves, but he's also about to go warm up, and I have to sit here for another 30 minutes. So go warm up, my man. We appreciate you, and we got to take a quick time out. We've got a history of Oklahoma and Alabama coming up, as well as former Sooner quarterback Charles Thompson next here on The End Zone. Okay, so we're going to take Charles first, and then we'll go to Adam.
Are we going to go? Are you going to have 3 people here?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll talk to him while Charles is on.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, yeah.
I guess you can't really get up in the middle of
Yeah.
it, but
Check 2 3 4 5. Check test 2 3 4 5. Yeah. Camera.
Welcome back to Campus Corner as we continue the countdown to the college football playoff in Norman, Oklahoma. The Sooners and the Crimson Tide coming up very, very soon. Charles Thompson joins us here along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. It's good to see you, first of all. It's been
on the air with you guys.
It's been like, what, week 2, I think? We know you played Michigan since
right.
we last had you.
Studio.
At that point in time, John Mateer was a Heisman candidate. Things fell off a little bit after an injury, but, you know, the Oklahoma offense, first half of the season looked to be high-flying, dynamic. The second half of the season, I think people were just praying for a big play or two to put them over the top. It's been kind of a wild ride for this Oklahoma offense.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm an offensive guy, and I study quarterbacks, and I love the mindset that it takes to be successful at the quarterback position. And I understand the difficulties as well when you go and dealing with injuries. You know, my son Casey had a thumb injury as well during his time at Texas that hindered his second half of the season. So I understand what John Mateer has been going through. I think the thing that really points out when I talk about this team and think about this team, there was a stat that I looked and ran across. This team has given up only 15 touchdowns the entire season. 15 touchdowns. That's that's 9 less than, I think, Alabama, or maybe Georgia and LSU. And then it's the first time in 4 years that a team has given up that less in the SEC. So, I mean, that's an impressive. It's an elite style of defense. And listen, it doesn't matter at this point. It's not about a glamour look or look fancy. It's about winning by 1 point. And defenses travel, and I think certainly Brent Venables is going to have this defense ready to play tonight.
Well, you mentioned it's not always pretty. Obviously, John Mateer has been struggling, the offense as a whole, and yet game after game they do just enough. What do you think that says about the team's mentality?
Well, I think that it's when you look at John Mateer, I mean, obviously you think throwing the ball, but I think grit. And I think that's what this team is really about, both offensively and certainly defensively. I think John Mateer and Arbuckle, this is the type of game that I think the Sooner fans, when it's all said and done, I believe will understand why they came here to be a part of this program, because this is where you got to bow your neck and make it happen, no matter what kind of adversities you run into, no matter how difficult at time the game may get, you got to figure out a way to win. And that's really what it's all about. It's a team sport and not an individual sport. They don't keep score on the offensive side and say you get half a point like they do in golf for a tie. They say it's an all-out team win or loss, and the Oklahoma Sooners keep finding a way to do that.
What's been interesting to watch is even in these low points for Mateer, the team still rallies around him, and they, even whenever, he was out for a couple of games, like they in their head have said that Mateer is their guy. What does that do for the team's unity, so to speak, and how does that help them?
Well, I think at the end of the day, you look at, as much as we want to talk about how they have struggled, when it's called for them to make something happen, they've done it. You look at the last game against Alabama. It wasn't a throw, but a touchdown run by John Mateer that helped kind of solidify that win. So I think at the end of the day, you got to focus on just that. And I think there's not a person in this stadium tonight that would be upset if Oklahoma won ugly.
Yeah, just win, baby, right, as Al Davis famously said. The offense gets a lot of grief about what's happened in the last 3 weeks, starting with the Alabama game where they were outgained by 200 yards, didn't play particularly well against Missouri or LSU. I would remind people, the last time they had a healthy backfield against Tennessee, the offensive production was pretty good. Both Xavier Robinson and Torrey Blaylock were hurt in that first Alabama game a month ago. Those guys weren't 100% in the 2 home games to wrap up the season. Those guys should be healthy with this month off, and you have a full backfield, especially with Javonte Barnes now being back in the mix and not utilizing the red shirt to potentially transfer down the line. But I think just having the full stable of running backs also allows you to maybe do a little bit more and stick to the run game than having to throw the football and put more on John Mateer's shoulders.
Well, I think the key is what you just said. I think last time they played, Alabama felt like they did everything right except for the turnovers. And I think they knew felt like they had success with throwing the ball. They had a little difficulties running the football, but I think from an offensive standpoint, they don't feel like they got to change much. And so I think that's certainly an advantage to the Oklahoma Sooners, because Brent Venables, if he knows what you're going to do, he's a magician in calling that defense. And so I think that's a key point that you bring out. I think another key point is, I think defensively, Oklahoma will have to change the thing, but I think defensively for Alabama, they feel like they did an excellent job controlling and containing that offense. So I think from a schematical standpoint, this team, to me, has a chance to break down the film, and it's going to be a matter of which coach has got this team in a position to execute and capitalize on the mistakes.
It's been kind of an interesting progression on opposite sides of the ball. Ty Simpson has had a rough back half of the season. I think he had just, one interception across the first 9 games. He's now thrown 4 in the last 4. Meanwhile, OU's defense has stayed strong, and now they get back a great player in R. Mason Thomas, who's going to come after him right away. It feels like this is a matchup where a lot is in favor of the Sooners.
Well, I think the key is that. I think that certainly it'll be a little bit of an advantage for the quarterback, but I think that because he's seen Brent Venables' defense before, I think that he'll feel a little bit more confident. But Brent's a magician of switching it up. And I think the key thing you said, R. Mason Thomas was a big factor in the last game, as we know. I think him being back for the Sooners tonight will still be a big factor to help this defense out. So I expect Brent Venables to pull some things out of the hat that maybe this offense hadn't seen, and I like our chances when he's in control.
All right, let's wrap it up with your prediction for tonight. What's going to happen? Low-scoring game, I assume?
think it's a low-scoring game. I wouldn't be surprised if this is, in my opinion, why Arbuckle and John Mateer have said, okay, you guys have been criticizing us all year. We haven't delivered. I think they find a way to come up with an excellent game plan, and I think tonight everyone sees why they were here and part of the Oklahoma Sooner program. I look for the offense to get 28 points, and I think they win.
The battle of blue bloods, 2 of the bluest of blue bloods in the history of college football. Our own Adam King is over at the Noun Hotel, and Adam, these are 2 blue blood programs that have, a better history than 99.9% of the rest of college football.
Cameron, Colby, it's unbelievable when you open up the history books here and look at these 2 programs and how little they've met each other, but how parallel their program paths have run. We're talking Heisman Trophy winners, national championships, big-name players that have made huge impacts in the NFL, and the coaching trees that just go for days and all across the nation. And now both of these teams have a chance to set in stone the next chapter in the history of this budding SEC rivalry.
Touchdown Tide.
A classic clash of the Titans, the unstoppable force.
Cuevas is wide open, and he walks in for a touchdown untouched.
Against the immovable object.
Not much better than that overall. Simpson swung down for a loss. Kip Lewis, a blitzing linebacker.
Both with their own respective decades of dominance.
Jump ball. Touchdown! What a catch, Henry Ruggs.
Now both teams trying to reclaim their foothold at the pinnacle of college football.
Boomer Sooner, baby! The Tide pouring it on.
It seems only fitting these rivals in the record books would meet in the very first game of this year's college football playoffs, a new budding SEC rivalry setting the tone for the rest of the nation with their 3rd meeting in just 13 months.
A great football team and program in Alabama. Coach DeBoer and his staff, again, have done a fantastic job there.
While these 2 blue bloods have only collided 8 times on the field in their programs' respective histories, and the few times the teams have matched up, both have pulled out all the stops to make sure they have the chance at being on the right side of history. Maybe no moment greater than this 4th and 14 for the Sooners in 2003.
Throw a pass, and it's complete at the 30-yard line. 40, 45 to the 50.
Sometimes you put your baseball bats away too soon.
Since then, the college football sun has shone on both of these programs. A combined 11 Heisman Trophy winners, 25 national championships, and some of the best coaches the game has ever seen. With 2 of the most outspoken and passionate fan bases in all of college football, ready to turn up the heat coming from the magnifying glass of a national spotlight.
There's not a more passionate, well-versed, educated fan base in all of college football.
We know we're going to go into an environment that's going to be rowdy. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Our guys got to be ready.
Only 2 outcomes are available on Friday night. One future forged ahead to relive the glory of the past, reinvented in a new lens of another taste at the limelight, only getting one step closer to a national championship can provide. While the other goes back to the drawing board, looking to figure out how to channel the ghosts of the past, rather than be haunted by them as they step into the future. Tonight at the Palace on the Prairie, the weight of history bears down yet again on two of the winningest programs in the history of the sport, and only one can leave their latest mark on the history books.
We've got two great teams going at it. These are the good old days right now, and you got a chance to do something really special.
And we just heard the pop from the stadium behind us. These folks are getting ready to go. And you can't note when you look around with the Christmas lights, we're just less than a week away from Christmas, Warren. I can tell you fans of both fan bases of these teams are hoping that there's a W under the tree when they wake up in the morning. Reporting live in Norman, Adam King. Back to you.
Heisman winners, legendary coaches. When you put that Oklahoma and Alabama brand next to each other, it doesn't get any bigger in all of college football. All right, we've got to take a timeout along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. We're inching closer to kickoff. We'll talk to former Sooner Rodney Anderson next here on the End Zone.
Two separate pairs. So these are different.
Can I possibly get there?
You can.
Yeah, right. But I don't know, like, they told me earlier this week, they're like, the seating's going to be tricky. We don't know if we're gonna
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Sorry, you didn't ask for mic check. I can hear you.
Yeah, they even told us, like, usually I have like 3 rings hovering around.
Thank you.
But they're like
Live from Campus Corner in Norman, Oklahoma, this is a special edition of the End Zone along with Cameron Johnson. I am Colby Daniels. The countdown to kickoff is nearly complete. We are almost there. Oklahoma, Alabama. In fact, if I have my math right, the teams have already gone in from pregame warm-ups. They're going over the final preparations to come out on the field and get ready to do this thing for a third time in 13 months. Rodney Anderson joins us here as we get ready for this game. So you were on the End Zone going into Oklahoma's last game a month ago when they played LSU, and good to see you again. But feels like a lot's happened since then.
I know. No, so much just in the sports world is with this team, with Alabama. All that, but we're finally here, and I couldn't be happier. I mean, the atmosphere here is great. The vibe is great. I'm excited to see some good football.
What's from your perspective, what's this week been like in Norman, around the football team, around the program? Because just being here today all day long, it's been special vibes, the type of vibes you would want for a college football playoff game.
I think the anticipation has just been building for Sooner Nation, the fan base. I feel like everything is kind of coming together. They've been so patient, just waiting on this BV team to like turn that corner and make it to this stage, and now we're here. That anticipation has been building all week. In the building, however, it's strangely calm. Like, I just feel like there's so much calm confidence. Those guys really have bought into that like hard to kill gladiator mentality.
Well, Colby mentioned earlier the format's a little different now. But OU historically has not had the best of luck in the playoffs. Now they're at home in front of fans, a much different team than we've seen before. What has you confident in this team that they finally get it done?
Scheme and culture are two words that I keep coming back to when I think about BV. He really just has instilled such a culture into these guys. Like, they're all bought into the mission to where he doesn't even have to coach them to do certain things. You know, those Friday night lift sessions when they could be here on the corner partying, they're in the weight room, hanging out with each other in the locker room, like lifting, getting better. They're focused. And then the scheme, you put a scheme on top of guys like that are that focused and that driven and already that athletic. I mean, it just comes together. I've been so impressed with BV, and I'm so happy that he's finally got the chance to play on this stage. He deserves it.
You know, we've talked throughout this show about physicality and how, 5 years ago we talked about Alabama and Oklahoma. Alabama was all physicality, right? And Oklahoma was lacking it to a degree. It's completely flip-flop now, and that's not to say Alabama doesn't have physicality, but under Kalen DeBoer, they're not built on it the same way they were under Nick Saban, while Brent Venables has, the bones of this program currently is built on physicality and that type of mentality overall. So it feels like it's such a complete opposite from where it was when it was all about what's the defense going to give us. The big question is, like, how many big plays can the offense give us tonight to potentially win a game?
Right. Yeah, I think the words were relentless, punishing, and suffocating when you first got here. That's right. That is what the defense has turned into finally. They've been making huge strides up until this point. Now we're here with such a great product. Offensively, I was thinking about this a little bit earlier. I think we need to give Ben Arbuckle the same grace. BV didn't just show up here with a phenomenal playoff ready defense. Let's give Ben Arbuckle the same grace. He's been making small steps forward this entire season. The wheels haven't fallen off. He's had a couple of weeks of rest and to get in the meeting room. Why not tonight? Why not tonight? Why not that running attack or that running game, however you want to say it? Why not tonight? Why let's turn that corner.
Well, a big opportunity for them as well. When you look at the injury report, Oklahoma's running back room has gotten hopefully healthier across these last few weeks. Meanwhile, Alabama losing some of their main defensive line players. This is going to be a great opportunity, I think, for OU to reignite that run game and hopefully get explosive plays, which might be a bit game changer tonight.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Rest can only help the running back room. I mean, it's late in the season. At this point, I'm sure every team is dealing with their fair share of bumps, bruises, scrapes, whatever. But we were lucky enough to have a couple of extra, days, weeks, however you want to say it, to recoup. I know that they're practicing smart, but still practicing fast. And as long as you stay locked in mentally, the physical part will take care of itself. I know that these guys have been grinding their entire lives to get on a stage like today. This game catapults you to a historic Rose Bowl. There's no way that a little shoulder, my knee, or my bumps and bruises and scrapes are holding you out of this game.
So in the last Alabama game, both Torrey Blaylock and Xavier Robinson were hurt in that game. kind of sustain through the end of the season, I have full anticipation that the run game is going to be better tonight. If it's not, however, I mean, John Mateer has shown that when it really counts, that's when he's at his best. But through 4 quarters, I mean, is he in a place where you think they could put a tremendous load on him and he can handle it if the run game's not going?
I do, and I attribute the reason I feel that is because of his mentality and because his team has bought in. I can tell that his team has bought in because when things are going bad or when he's not at his best, they don't panic, and they still choose John as their guy. And so as long as that's the case, I do think he can rise to the occasion in those moments. You're right, it is when he is at his best, and so I expect to see that John Mateer tonight.
Well, either way, I think you always want a guy that is going to have the mentality of never die, and that's why Oklahoma is hard to kill, regardless of what the circumstances are. Rodney, always good to see you, my man. We will see you in the stadium in a short time. Countdown to kickoff is nearly complete. We will take a timeout, wrap up the show with game picks next here on the End Zone.
Time now for the Brahms in the Bag Pick of the Week.
All right, welcome back one final time as the countdown to kickoff is minutes away, Cameron. This environment all day long has been just amazing. I feel very privileged to be a part of this. We are going to sprint to the stadium in a matter of minutes, but as we wrap this thing up, by the way, I can hear the hype video behind me, and it's just making me that much more excited. As we wrap this thing up, give me your clutch factors for the Sooners tonight. What are you looking for Oklahoma ultimately to be victorious against this Alabama team?
Number one, the defense needs to pick up where it's left off. You have a huge advantage on paper in getting our Mason Thomas back. To what extent we see him, I don't know yet, but I think the key is to contain Ty Simpson, and the way to do that, come out fast, rattle him, because he's shown he gets a little shaky once he's rattled, so take advantage of that. And then on the flip side of the ball, Sooners need to get explosive plays. They need to get that run game rolling. John Mateer is a big part of that as well. I think the wind will be a factor tonight, so we might see more of a ground game. But I think ultimately, if OU does that, the Sooners have a lot more in their favor in terms of injuries and just overall confidence. On paper, it is the playoffs. Anything can happen. But I think all that goes well. OU wins this game 24-21.
I think, ultimately I'm with you on the run game. I think it's going to be much better. If I had to pick one thing offensively, it's got to be protect the ball, right? I mean, if you don't turn the ball over, the defense, I think, is good enough to give you a chance to win. Defensively, you got to swarm Ty Simpson or suffocate Ty Simpson. If they generate pressure, he showed in the last game that he was uncomfortable when they were putting pressure on him. I think that's a big part of this game. And then special teams-wise, flip the field. I think field position is going to be huge tonight. Flip the field for the Sooners, and ultimately I think if you win that field position battle, you're going to be victorious at the end of the night. All right, game pick for you. Go ahead.
Oklahoma wins it 24-21, close like last game, low scoring.
Close, low-scoring game, physical game. I do think Alabama keeps this thing close. It's a physical battle on both sides of the football. Ultimately, I think Oklahoma's too much at home. They get it done. I'll take the Sooners 2017 to punch their ticket to the Rose Bowl. That's it for us. Along with Cameron Johnson, I'm Colby Daniels. We are sprinting to the stadium. Everybody enjoy the college football playoff.